The FBI in Peace and War. The FBI in Peace and War is brought to you by refreshing, delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Enjoy chewing Wrigley's Spearmint Gum every day, as millions do. The lively, long-lasting flavor cools your mouth and freshens your taste. The pleasant chewing adds enjoyment to whatever you're doing. Another great story based on Frederick L. Collins' copyrighted book, The FBI in Peace and War. Drama, thrills, action. Tonight's story, Stranglehold.
Stephen speaking.
Steve, this is Dave. I have her outside here with me. You ready for us yet?
All ready, Dave. Come right in. Mr. Decker.
Yes.
She's coming in here now.
But she had nothing to do with this. I told you, nothing at all.
I know what you told me, Mr. Decker. Nevertheless... Oh, come in, Dave.
I don't know, Miss Jessup.
Let me get my hands on him, that's all.
This won't take but a
I don't
moment,
want to be in
Miss
the same room with him even that long. What are you waiting for, anyhow? He did it. He murdered Marty. What are you waiting for?
Linda.
You shut up. Don't you speak to me. Don't you ever speak to me again.
All right, Dave.
Come on, Miss Jessup.
I hope you get the chair. I hope they fry you.
Okay, Miss Jessup, that's enough.
Well?
She didn't mean it. Linda's all upset. After all, your own brother dying horribly like that.
Mr. Decker, Marty wasn't Linda Jessup's brother.
What?
They were man and wife, married for over 10 years.
Married?
I'm sorry, but you had to find that out sooner or later.
Linda and Marty married?
Mm-hmm. Don't you want to tell me what happened now?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Would you care to smoke?
No, thanks.
Mr. Decker, when did you first find out that Linda Jessup was in trouble at the store?
What?
She told you she was in serious trouble, didn't she?
Oh, yes, she told me.
When? How long ago?
About 2 months or so, maybe a little more.
Why don't you tell me about that?
Well...
It always helps to talk things out. You'll be doing both of us a lot of good. How about it?
Can I change my mind about that cigarette?
Help yourself.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Well, the way I remember, it was one night after we'd worked late doing an inventory on the furs. And I noticed Linda was tired, and so I suggested the two of us having a drink before I drove her home. But when we got to the bar, I saw it was something more than just being tired. Something was on Linda's mind. Usually she was all laughing and being warm and friendly, but this night she was quiet and restless and drinking like I never saw her before.
Let's have another,
Another?
One for the road.
Well, okay, but aren't you hitting the stuff a little heavy tonight?
All right, if you don't want to order me a drink.
Oh, I didn't say that, Linda. Just that you never used to drink like this. What is it?
It's nothing. Nothing at all. I'm all right. I'm fine.
Is it the boss, Mr. Kruger, bothering you again?
No, I'm holding him at arm's length, all right. No, it's not the boss.
Okay, if you don't feel like talking, I won't keep at you. We'll have another drink.
Earl,
Yes?
what do you think of me?
What?
I mean it. You haven't known me very long. Oh, we've seen a lot of each other and had some laughs, but what do you really think?
Oh, come off it, Linda. What is it?
No, I want to know. It's important, Earl.
I think,
Yes?
Linda, if it wasn't for you and the way we've been, I mean, well, I just wouldn't care what happened, that's all.
Would you feel that way if you knew I'd done something very wrong?
You'd never do anything wrong.
If I had, what then?
The person you're in love with, you're in love with. It wouldn't matter.
In love with?
Oh, I guess you've known that. The only thing I didn't do was come on out with it. Linda.
Don't say anything more, Earl. Please don't. Earl, I've taken $2,800 of the store's money.
What?
$2,800 and juggled the figures to fit.
You don't mean it.
I do it. I mean it. Now what do you think of me?
I don't believe you.
Well, you will next month when the accountants come around.
Linda.
I didn't want to, Earl. Honestly, I didn't. But Marty was in trouble with some gamblers, and they said if he didn't pay up...
Marty, you took money because of him?
He's all the family I've got left, Earl. You've got to understand, you just can't stand by and see your own brother get beat up, maybe killed.
Why can't you? He's no good, Linda. Nothing but trouble.
Well, I guess I'm nothing but trouble, too. I shouldn't have told you.
Now, listen. I've got almost $1,000 saved. Now, you have got to go to the boss, tell him the whole thing, tell him that you'll pay the money back, every
Oh,
cent.
sure, go to the boss. That's all I have to do. You know how he's been after me. You know how he'd be wanting me to pay him back.
Linda, you of all people, I still can't believe
I
that...
did it. I stole $2,800. I'm going to jail. Stop saying you still can't believe I'd do such a thing.
Oh, Linda, please. I'm sorry.
You got a handkerchief?
We'll work something out. Please don't cry. We will, Linda. I promise you.
Back to Stranglehold in just a moment. Friends, one reason it's a good idea to chew Wrigley's Spearmint Gum every day is that it satisfies you without being rich or filling. You can chew Wrigley's Spearmint after meals, between meals, anytime, and as long as you want. You get your satisfaction from the delicious flavor and the natural, pleasant chewing. Wrigley's Spearmint Gum is wholesome and good for you. So make your daily treat Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. It's a treat you can trust for healthful daily enjoyment. Always keep a package or two of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum handy in your purse or pocket. Be sure to get Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious. Act 2 of tonight's story on the FBI in Peace and War, Stranglehold.
And what happened after that night in the bar with Linda Jessup?
Nothing. I tried to think of some way out for her, but I couldn't.
You didn't know she and her brother had their plan all set up, only waiting for the exact moment to approach you?
No, sir, I didn't. I suppose they had. They must have.
Okay, but there's such a thing as waiting too long. You got to spring it on him sooner or later.
Marty, darling, will you leave this to me? Earl's very sensitive. This has to be done just so.
Okay, sensitive. But the guy's also so nuts about you, he'd do anything you tell him.
Marty.
Okay, I said okay. Maybe I just don't like being cooped up in this room so long. I'm even tired of TV.
I know.
After all, how many Charlie Chan pictures can a man take? But not that I have anything against Charlie.
Marty, I know you don't like being cooped up, but don't forget those federal boys are still interested enough in you to...
Okay. I said okay, didn't I?
Yeah, you said okay. Marty, this is too good a thing to miss out.
Sure, I know.
I gotta let the first shock sink in. To Mr. Earl Decker, $2,800 is like $28 million.
Wait till he finds out you never took a dime.
Wait till he finds out you're not my big bad brother. You just leave it to me, honey. We need just a little more time.
Okay.
Just a few more days, Marty, and I guarantee Earl will be ready to do anything for me. Anything at all.
And were you ready?
I was ready. I didn't know Marty wasn't a brother. I didn't know he was wanted by the FBI.
Mr. Sharrow?
Yeah? What do you want? If it's about the room, there ain't any. If it's about
My name is Johnson, Mr. Sharrow, Police Department. This is Agent Reynolds of the FBI.
Oh, why didn't you say so right off? Come in. I've been expecting you. Go right ahead in and sit down. The place is kind of mussed up, but the rumors keep my old lady hopping. Sit down. That chair is clean there. Sit right down.
Thank you.
Now, you want to know why I call the station house? Either of you gentlemen smoke cigars. I'm all out myself.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sharrow, we don't.
Well, like I said to that sergeant fellow who answered, I said, this is Reuben Sharrow, a United States citizen. I just saw a picture in the post office of a criminal I am sure was one of my roomers a ways back, and I want to do my duty and report him.
Mr. Sharrow.
Sir?
Inspector Johnson's already given me that information.
Oh, he has?
Yes, and I also told Mr. Reynolds that you asked about a reward.
Oh, you did. Well, like I said to that sergeant fellow, I said, I don't care about the reward, but if there is one, I'm positive this rumor was the man.
You're positive, Mr. Sharrow?
I've got two eyes, haven't I? Minute I saw that picture, I said to Sarah, that's my old lady, I said, Sarah, that is Mr. Jessup.
Jessup, eh?
That's the name his wife had over the mailbox.
His wife?
Well, I thought she was his wife. Maybe she wasn't. I always say live and let live and don't ask no questions.
Mr. Sharrow, would you mind telling us about Mr. Jessup and his wife from the time he or she first rented a room? I want to get the facts in some sort of order.
I forgot whether or not you said there was a reward for this kind of information, young fellow.
He didn't say, Mr. Sharrow, but if your information leads to Jessup's apprehension, there's a rather sizable reward.
It was in January sometime, about a week after New Year's. I remember exactly because Sarah, that's my old lady, she had a sign up for a vacancy. And when this Jessup fellow and his wife...
And I didn't know Marty Jessup was wanted by the FBI any more than I knew he wasn't Linda's brother. All I knew was that the girl I loved was in serious trouble, and I'd do anything to help her.
And it was about this time that she called you.
Yes, sir. One night, very late, I got the frantic phone call from Linda. Hello?
Earl, this is me, Linda. Can you come right away?
Well, what is it? Where are you?
I'm home. I can't tell you over the phone, but hurry, please. Earl, come as quick as you can.
Oh, Linda. Linda, how terrible.
I don't even want you to see my back. Oh, Earl, it was so awful. Marty hit me and hit me.
Linda, honey, shh. I'm here now. It's all right.
Oh, Earl, I hated calling you like this, but I was afraid he'd come back.
I hope he does come back. I only hope he does. Your own brother. How could he beat you like this? Linda, how?
I don't want to talk about it, Earl.
But you got to talk about it. Linda.
You're hurting me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I know. Oh, darling.
No, please, tell me what he said.
He said... Oh, what's the use? It's crazy.
What did he say?
He said he wanted to leave the country. He said I could be rid of him for good if I had the nerve.
Rid of him for good?
I don't want to talk about it, Earl. Really, I don't.
Please, Linda. If you had the nerve to do what?
To help him stage a fake robbery at the store.
To what?
Some night after work, he thought I'd stay until you and the others had gone, and then he'd come in and take enough furs to cover the money that I stole and pay his passage to South America.
Linda!
I know, it's crazy, and that's what I told him. He got in a frenzy and began beating me up. He said it wasn't crazy. It would fix up everything. He'd tie me up in a chair, and no one would ever find out what I'd done.
But you couldn't do that, Linda.
Well, that's what I thought at first, but... If I ever got rid of Marty and out of this mess, then you and I could get married. And besides, it'd only be a few furs. The insurance company would make it up.
No, but I mean, you couldn't. You don't know the combination of the vault.
Well, that's what I said to Marty, and he said maybe not, but I could get it. He said if Earl really loves you, like you say...
No, Linda, I won't let you do it.
No, I don't blame you. Maybe you're right. Maybe I should face it and go to jail. Maybe I should tell Marty I won't do it no matter what he does to me. Oh.
What's the matter?
Nothing. My side, I think. I guess I've been talking too much. Earl, you'd better go.
No, I'll stay.
You'd better. If you're not going to help me, I'll have to have it out with Marty sooner or later. I'll just wait till he gets back, Earl. You'd better go.
Back to Stranglehold in just a moment. Friends, when you chew Wrigley's Spearmint Gum, that good, delicious chewing just naturally helps to keep your mouth clean, fresh, and sweet. The natural chewing action helps to clean your teeth. The lively, refreshing flavor of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum sweetens your breath and gives your mouth a fresh, clean feeling. So you see, Wrigley's Spearmint Gum gives you more than chewing enjoyment and satisfaction. It's good, and it's good for you. Remember, too, Wrigley's Spearmint Gum is a long-lasting treat that satisfies you without being rich or filling. Get a few packages of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum next time you're at the store. Enjoy it often, every day, as millions of people do. Act 3 of tonight's story on the FBI in Peace and War. Stranglehold.
That's when you decided to help her, Mr. Decker? To give Linda the combination of the vault?
No, sir. I decided to help, but I couldn't let her take part in the fake robbery. I decided I'd have to do that myself.
You didn't realize that was exactly what they planned for you to decide?
No, sir, I didn't. I didn't realize that she and Marty had been faking other robberies just like this, right along.
To Stevens, FBI, Washington Confidential. Received lead from rooming house janitor on Martin Jessup and wife. Mail forward to Post Office Box, Bay City. And proceeding there at once. Will notify results. Sign it, Reynolds.
I didn't realize she and Marty had been faking other robberies. I didn't realize they were planning to take off with all the furs. All I knew was I had to help Linda get rid of that horrible brother of hers, even if it meant going through with a criminal act. Well, the following night, Wednesday, Linda and I worked late, and about 9 o'clock she went home. An hour after that, Marty came to the store. We pulled down all the shades, and I opened the vault. I hated the man and everything he stood for, but I sat quietly in a chair and let him tie me up as we had planned.
Okay?
No, tighter.
Oh, I don't want to stop the circulation, pal. You'll probably be here till morning.
Never mind, just get this over with.
Sure.
Where's the adhesive tape?
Oh, I got it, don't worry. You sure that's not too tight? My little sis would be real sore if anything happened to her Earl.
I'm sure.
I'm sorry I have to do this, pal. I'd give anything if I could have just gone away with dough I'd earned.
Just make sure you go away, that's all.
Oh, I'll make sure. Don't you worry about that.
And stay away, because if I ever hear that...
You have my word. We made an agreement, didn't we? Don't you trust me?
You better tape up my mouth. It's getting late.
Yeah, I guess I'd better. The only thing I regret is not standing up for my little sis at the wedding. Would you rather I stuffed your jaw with a handkerchief instead of this stuff?
Whichever is more professional, you ought to know.
But say, pal, more professional, only less comfortable.
Well, come on, use it then. Get this over.
Okay.
And hurry up. We haven't got all night.
Okay, I said okay. I guess we don't have to go through the routine, do we? Linda left the place early. The stick-up man come in through the side door, which was Jimmy's. You didn't see his face so good because he wore a mask. He forced you at gunpoint to open the vault.
I know the routine.
Okay, I just don't want you to bungle this for the sake of my little sis.
Come on. Put it down.
How's that?
Put it...
Can you breathe okay?
Mm-hmm.
One more strip will do it. I guess that takes care of you proper. Now just sit there nice and quiet while I haul out the furs. This is going to hurt your feelings a bit, pal, but it's necessary, believe me. Gee, what a stack of skins. Must be 300 here easy. I get a pretty penny for these. 50, 60 G's for sure. What's that, pal? I can't make out what you're spilling. Well, I gotta do it, pal. I'm sorry. An opportunity like this is too good to pass by. Oh, I'm going away like I promised, only I'm taking the furs with me. Everyone in the vault.
He was taking every fur in the vault. That's what he told me. He removed them all from the vault, and I sat there, helpless.
It's necessary, pal. Where I'm heading, I need a fat steak like this.
I tried to break the cords, to open my mouth, to stop him somehow. I worked my chair toward the door of the vault.
Now, pal, don't take it so hard. The insurance company is paying for this, not you.
He kept on tossing out the furs. I wanted to shout to him, to make him stop. I wanted to fling myself at him, to throw my chair in front of him, something, anything. And then as I fought with the chair, I felt it falling. And as I hit the floor, I heard the door of the vault slam shut.
Earl, let me out of here. Earl, can you hear me?
I could hear him.
Oh, listen,
But there
I
was
can
nothing I
manage.
could do but lie helpless on the
back the
floor.
boys, every one of them.
I tried to move, but my arms were numb.
Oh, can you hear
The
me?
tape was sealed tight on
Can
my
you
mouth.
hear me? Help!
The only hope was that
Oh,
someone would
please.
come.
Help
But
me.
I knew they wouldn't. No one would come until morning, and Marty would slowly suffocate to death.
I didn't mean
I
it.
hated the man, I admit it, but not that much. If I could have helped him, I would have. But he was the terrible victim of his own plan.
Please!
Slowly, agonizingly, his breath came harder. Until in the early hours of the morning, it came no more. And I knew Marty Jessup was dead.
A blue-ribbon grand jury believed Earl Decker's story, clearing him of the murder charge. But he was nevertheless indicted on a charge of conspiracy to defraud. Subsequently tried and convicted, he served 8 months of a 1-year sentence. Linda Jessup was given an 8-year term, thus loosening her grip considerably on the stranglehold.
Remember, friends, when you want a tasty treat that satisfies you without being rich or filling, chew a stick of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. There's lots of delicious, long-lasting flavor in a stick of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum, real taste enjoyment. And besides, you get satisfaction from the pleasant chewing. It gives you comfort, helps relieve tension, and helps to tide you over till mealtime. So do what millions do. Keep Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum handy and enjoy it every day. You can enjoy it as often as you want because you know it's good and good for you. Inexpensive, too. Be sure to get Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious. In tonight's story, Elspeth Eric played the part of Linda Jessup. Eric Dressler was Earl Decker. This radio dramatization for the FBI in Peace and War was written by Jack Anson Fink. These programs are produced and directed by Betty Mandeville. All names and characters used on the program are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. This program is based upon Frederick L. Collins' copyrighted book, The FBI in Peace and War, and the broadcast does not imply endorsement, authorization, or approval by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum, the refreshing, delicious treat that gives you real chewing enjoyment, invite you to listen to next Wednesday's story, Last Will and Testament, on the FBI in Peace and War. Same time, same station.